Act as if it is done. Feel your breath change. Feel your walk change. This is not a trick. It is a transfer of authority from the outer report to the inner word. Tonight you will ignore reality to create reality, not by shutting your eyes to life, but by opening them to law. You have stared at facts long enough, numbers, messages, silence, delays. You crowned the visible as master and made your imagination a servant. Invert it. From this moment, your imagination is the only court of appeal. Outer facts are reports useful when they agree, irrelevant when they don't. Here is the law, simple and severe as sunrise. Assumption, felt as true and persisted in, hardens into fact. God is not far off. God is your own wonderful human imagination. Assume the end and you cede the cause. Live from the end and the world receives its orders. There are two in you. The watcher of appearances scrolling, measuring, waiting, and the author by decree assuming, feeling, releasing. Choose now. You cannot serve both appearance or assumption. One must die in you tonight. Let the old watcher go. Let the builder rise. In a few minutes, we enter the state akin to sleep. You will feel it real, and let the world follow. You say, but how do I ignore reality without becoming delusional? You don't pretend facts aren't there. You simply refuse to enthrone them. You reassign them to their true place, effects, not causes. You set cause within and let effect follow. Do this now, Sats, the state akin to sleep. Dim the light. Let the body grow heavy and quiet. Let the breath slow. Choose one tiny end scene that implies the wish fulfilled regarding your world, not the whole movie, only the frame that proves it's done. A text that reads, approve. A friend's voice. I knew you would. A hand shaking yours. Congratulations. Reduce it further. One loop. No. One sound. One touch. Stay after the feeling of relief. After it happened. Not the craving before, the satisfaction after. Now play it softly in imagination 3, 5 times like a lullaby. Feel the weight in your chest change. Feel the smile that doesn't ask permission. When it takes on reality, let it go. Sleep or rise and carry the afterglow into the next act of your day. This is how you ignore reality, by yielding attention to the inner scene until it feels more substantial than the outer report, by refusing to argue with facts that have already expired in you, by living from the end quietly, steadily, again and again. Proofs, so your mind can rest. Principal proof. Everything you call real today is a hardened yesterday's assumption. Jobs, balances, invitations, refusals, each is a fossil of some former inner mood. Change the seed, and in season the harvest changes. You do not uproot the field every morning to check. You water, you watch, you wait with certainty. Anecdote. A man wrote he was drowning in invoices and dread. He stopped counting debt and started counting done. Each night he climbed into bed and heard one phrase, paid in full. He ran a thumb over an imaginary paper with a zero balance. He felt the roughness, the ink raised under the finger. He did this for a fortnight. On the 17th day, 2 clients revived, 1 stranger prepaid, and a stale refund appeared like a letter from another world. Nothing magical, just law obeyed. Micro proof now. While you listen, think of a person you expect to resist you. Hear them say in your inner ear, of course. Done. Hear it again slower. Of course. Done. Notice how your body loosens when inner talk obeys you. That looseness is the first movement of matter. Keep it. Objections come. What if nothing changes? What if nothing changes yet? Silence is not denial. It is incubation. You planted last night. Today you water by attention, not by panic. What about setback? Revision is your answer. You refuse to immortalize the bruise. At night you rerun the scene to the ending that matches your assumption, and accept that ending as the only truth allowed to live in you. Controlled attention is your steering wheel. Where attention goes, power flows, and mood grows. Do not rehearse the worst. It is too expensive. Catch inner conversations. If they accuse, replace. If they beg, replace. If they bargain, replace. Replace with the end. Replace with the tone of already mine. Practice it like this throughout the day. When the mind wanders to appearances, whisper, End, not mean. When the old self narrates lack, answer, I have. When the screen flashes noise, bow your head inward and say, I am. Revision each night. Close your eyes. Take the day in hand. Where you flinched, see yourself steady. Where they refused, see them warm. Where you delayed, watch yourself decisive. Hold the new frame until it feels like the only one that ever happened. Sleep over the rewrite. Tomorrow will obey the script you took to bed. Identity now, install it like code. Say it softly, like law. I am the man who lives from the end. I am the woman who lives from the end. I assume, and it is so. I feel it real, and the world arranges. I am not a reporter of facts. I am the author of facts. My imagination is God in action. My inner word is law. I release appearances from power. I withdraw attention from what I do not choose. I return attention to what I have chosen. I stand in the done. I rest in the done. I move from the done. Technique: ignore and install. 1. Notice an appearance that contradicts your end. 2. Label it old news. 3. Refeel your end scene for 10 seconds. Hear the line. See the proof. 4. Act from that mood in the next tiny step you must take. Done? I can. The 24-hour protocol. Morning 1 minute in the end. Before the phone, before the world, sit at the edge of the bed and run your end scene 1. Not long, not loud, true. Breathe until the already tone arrives. Rise only when you can touch the inner result without strain. Midday. Inner conversation. Reset. Set 3 chimes on your device. Each time, stop and listen in. If your inner voices are pleading, switch scripts. From I hope to I have. From will it to it is. From maybe to of course. Evening Sats revision. Dim the light. Let the body become sweet and heavy. Take your 1 loop. Feel the aftermath of success. Loop it gently. Then revise the day wherever it betrayed your end. Sleep in the state of it is finished. Physical alignment. 1 micro act that matches the end. If you live from abundance, tidy a drawer like a man who honors well. If you live from health, set out water and shoes like one who walks with ease. If you live from love, send 1 message that a loved man would send. Tiny, precise, inevitable. You fear that ignoring reality means negligence. It means governance. Ignorance is closing your eyes to law. Ignoring is choosing your cause and refusing to worship effect. You are not careless. You are careful with the most expensive thing you own: attention. Let's tighten your stance with the 5 refusals and 5 returns. I refuse to argue with facts that contradict my end. I refuse to beg reality for permission. I refuse to measure sprouts as if they were harvest. I refuse to share my seed with gossip. I refuse to fear silence. I return to the end. I return to the feeling. I return to inner agreement. I return to quiet command. I return to gratitude after the fact. Call and response train your inner choir. Who rules? My inner word. What is real? What I accept as done? What do I ignore? Or do I ignore? Old reports. What do I feel? Fulfillment. When not. If you must look at the outer scene, look as a witness who already knows the verdict. A letter arrives. Read it from the end. A number shows. Interpret it from the end. A silence stretches. Fill it with the sound of course. Remember the gardener. He does not lecture the seed. He does not dig hourly to check roots. He waters. He shields. He waits not as a beggar, as a man who has planted. So too with you. You have planted. Let habit do what haste cannot. Another identity passed deeper. I am the end, walking through the middle. My mood is the mold. My assumption is the architect. My body is the messenger. What I rehearse, I release. What I repeat, I become. I live as if it's done because in me, it is. I speak as one who has. I move as one who knows. I sleep as one who has finished. I wake to collect what I have sown. If fear rises, bless it. It is only the last breath of the old reporter. Do not fight him. Out-repeat him. He cannot live where you no longer feed him. Let your new sentences be daily bread. Here's your compact script to carry on a card. End. Not mean. Already, not someday. Author, not victim. Assume, feel, release, revise, rest, return. Now we close the loop. You came wondering how to ignore reality to create reality. You leave knowing you never had to fight the world, only appoint the cause. Ignore is not denial, it is decision. Creation is not strain, it is selection, sustained until it sets. Say this 3 times, each slower than the last. I do not report reality. I create it. I do not bow to appearances. I appoint them. I live from the end, and the world complies. Again, I do not report reality. I create it. I do not bow to appearances. I appoint them. I live from the end, and the world complies. Once more, let it settle in bone. I do not report reality. I create it. I do not bow to appearances. I appoint them. I live from the end, and the world complies. Now rise lightly. Take your single loop with you. Guard your inner talk like treasure. Do one tiny act that a fulfilled one would do. Tonight, return to sat. Revise where needed. Sleep in the finished thing. And when the world knocks tomorrow, open as the author, not the reporter. It will recognize the tone. It always does.